In Streets Online 1080, the gap shrinks even more. The 4090 averaged 145 FPS, only 1 FPS ahead of the 5070 Ti. The 1% lows came in at 115 versus 113, and the 0.1% lows were 99 versus 95, all within a 4% range. Streets Online 1440, the performance differences remained pretty subtle. The 4090 averaged 144 compared to 141 on the 5070 Ti. That's only a 2% gain. The 1% and 0.1% lows were almost identical as well. Overall gameplay felt very similar between both cards. In Streets 4K Online, the 4090 maintains its lead with the 144 FPS average compared to 139 on the 5070 Ti. The 1% lows came in at 111 versus 104, and 0.1% lows were 75 versus 67. About a 10% difference on the lows. In Customs Online in 1080, the 4090 averaged 211 FPS compared to 203 on the 5070 Ti. It's a 4% increase. 1% and 0.1% lows also rose slightly by around 5 to 7%. Still, both GPUs delivered extremely high frame rates, and the gameplay felt nearly identical. In 1440 Online, both cards again performed similarly. The 4090 reached 201, while the 5070 Ti managed 198, a marginal 2% difference. The 1% and 0.1% lows also differed by just 2 to 3 FPS, making the experience feel almost the same. Online in 4K, the gap is significant. The 4090 averaged 174 FPS compared to 138 on the 5070 Ti, giving it a 26% edge. The 1% lows were 128 versus 119, and the 0.1% lows came in at 118 versus 106. These gains translated into the most meaningful difference I've seen between the two cards during the entire testing period. So is the RTX 4090 really worth it for a Tarkov focused build? In my opinion, it's massive overkill if Tarkov is your main game. The 5070 Ti already hits the game's GPU ceiling at 1440 with high textures, and even in 4K with DLSS, which currently looks better than native rendering with TAA high, by the way. Unless you're absolutely set on playing Tarkov in native 4K at max fidelity for some reason, because like I said, DLSS 4 looks better than native. Or you also play other graphically demanding titles, or do heavy creative or editing work. The 4090 just doesn't make much sense here for most people. The 5070 Ti gives you about 85 to 90% of the performance for less than half the price. For most people, that money is going to be better spent on a stronger CPU, faster RAM, or upgrading your monitor, keyboard, or mouse, all of which can have a bigger impact on your experience in Tarkov. Alright, that's all I got for this one. I hope it helped. If you found it useful, please drop a like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay updated with future hardware comparisons. It really helps support the channel and helps me keep making content for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.